Well, hello everyone. My name is Amber. I'm with Story Chasing, and if you're new to my channel, I show my experience traveling around North America in my Class B van that's just right behind me. And this month is my 3-year Nomadiversary. Been on the road for 3 years now. I started out with a Class C and I switched over to this Class B van just a year after starting RV life. So in the 2 years that I've actually been in the van, I've made a few modifications and some things that I think fits more of my style since I've been traveling with it for the last 2 years. Things that I've come to like or dislike about it, and then just went ahead and made those changes. So alright, so I'm going to do the van tour in just a moment, but if you have any questions at all about the van or anything that you're seeing in it, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and I'll get to your questions. Alright guys, let's get to the van tour. Well, welcome to my home. My van is a Hymer Aktiv on a Promaster 2500 chassis. Let's start with the front cabin area. One of the things I love is that these captain chairs swivel around and it really opens up the space. My dog Lily loves her co-captain chair where she sleeps and travels with her very own seatbelt and harness. When I'm overnighting somewhere for any length of time, I always have these chairs facing the living area and I use it as my main sitting area, and it makes a huge difference in the functionality of the space. Next, we have 2 overhead storage bins. This top bin I use for items I need quickly, like my jackets, a tripod, first aid kits, essential oils, my camera, and my backpack. It's pretty deep and makes an excellent storage area for these items. Next is the storage bin just above my head that you can access while driving or in the front seats. It's another quick storage area for my plethora of eyeglasses and sunglasses, my headlamp, some more camera gear, and unfortunately not all of these vans come with that storage bin, but I know you can always add it afterwards. Next, there is the 3-in-1 living, dining, and workspace area. Yes, these wires drive me crazy, but I haven't figured out a good solution for these yet, so it's a work in progress. There's a bench seat that is really quite uncomfortable for sitting for too long, and I'd eventually like to replace it, so consequently I rarely use that. The van did come with a TV, however I removed it since I didn't use it that often and instead utilized my iPad or MacBook for watching movies. Since I operate an online business full-time, I utilize this overhead storage cabinet for office supplies and camera gear and accessories. Real estate in a van comes at a premium, so I'm always trying to find ways to organize, like this net that I stuck to the bottom of the bench seat to hold a pair of shoes to keep them out of the way. I also installed a USB port that connects to DC power, so I don't have to turn the inverter on to power it up. That mess of cords belongs to my WeBoost cell booster that helps me to stay online in some of the most remote places around the country. One accessory I purchased was this block that can handle 3 USB cords and 4 power cords, though I definitely don't use all at once, but it makes it more accessible when you have multiple power devices, especially with that huge MacBook power cord. I have a love-hate relationship with this table. It folds out, but from the top. So if you have anything on the table, you must remove it first to extend the tabletop. I rarely extend it for this reason. The table is multifunctional for eating my meals and also working. Typically, I'll sit in my driver's captain chair that's swiveled around with my laptop and equipment on the table. I alternate between sitting in the chair and moving the computer to the kitchen counter and use that as a stand-up desk. Many parts of a van are multifunctional and really a must in order to make the most usage of the space. One of the other things I love about this van is the windows and the screens. The windows pop out pretty far and provide exceptional ventilation. On all the windows throughout the van is a bug screen to keep, well, the bugs out, and a nightshade that provides an almost dark interior at night. While I love this concept, the manufacturer, called Remis, could have used a much stronger string. Even though I'm super careful with my shades, my strings have broken on 2 of the windows and is about to go out on a 3rd. I worked with my good friend Matt to reverse engineer the stringing process and then restrung the bug screens using braided fishing wire, which has proven to not only be stronger, but also making it easier to slide the shades up and down. Another Remis product that has proven to be faulty is the Skylight. This is my second one. However, now that Hymer North America America has gone under and I lost the 6-year warranty, I've had to come up with a different solution for when it breaks. It has the same bug screen and nightshade like the other windows, which is very handy. The hand crank, however, to open the Skylight window has broken twice now due to the metal mechanism being stripped out because of a bad install. So I took the crank off and I use this tool each time to open it. Replacing the window with a comparable Dometic Skylight might be in my future, but for now, this is what works just fine for me. My van has 250 watts of solar and 400 amp hours of lithium batteries, which I can control from this panel. We installed a Balmar battery monitoring kit, which I'm not super impressed with just yet because I don't think it's accurate, but we're still tweaking it a little bit to see if we can get some better accuracy. It also comes with a Trumacombi, which is the water heater and the furnace that can use either propane, shore power, or power from your lithium batteries to operate. The van came with a sliding screen door originally. However, it was a love-hate relationship. Why? Well, the darn thing was either too tight or too loose and constantly would get stuck when trying to operate it. I finally took it off and found a company called Rolef out of Montreal, Canada that makes custom magnetic screens. Here you can see them installing it for me at one of our annual Hymer events. This screen was a game changer. I love it and it is so well built and I highly recommend it to anybody. Okay, coming back inside, let's start heading to the back. Just in front of this closet is my Berkey water filter. Some may think it's a pain to put in front of the closet, but I store things in the closet that I don't need to access very often. The Berkey is invaluable since I drink a ton of water and I know it's one of the best for filtering any water out there. To make sure it doesn't move during travel, I found a luggage strap that I wrap around a bench headrest and secure it to the Berkey. The closet originally had a small hanging dowel instead for clothes. However, I removed it and added these shelves so I can put more items inside, from clothes to office supplies and kitchen items. There was literally no tools used to install these shelves, so it was super easy and I love the space that it gave me for organization. And by the way, any items I've mentioned in this video are linked in the description box and the pinned comment below. Now on to one of my favorites in the kitchen. Believe it or not, this kitchen has more storage and counter space than my old Class C did. The counter is more spacious with the recessed sink and the propane stove. I've added some hooks as well for keys and my stickers, which I seem to give out frequently when I meet people on the street. The kitchen has 3 deep drawers for all your kitchen accessories and food. I've also added some clear trays to the top drawer to handle all of my utensils as well. I use mine for pantry, utensils and bowls, and some appliances. Just on the other side of the aisle is this roll-up pantry that had 1 shelf in it. It's pretty deep, so it was difficult to access anything in the back. So I installed a roll-out shelf for more pantry items and my beloved Vitamix blender. And there's even more storage over the sink where I keep my spices and my superfoods. There used to be a microwave in this cabinet, however, I removed it since I rarely use microwaves and would rather have the storage. So I bought these cute baskets from Target that I can slide in and out and store my Dyson handheld vacuum in it, my vitamins, some extra utensils, and supplements. I love this wire basket that I also installed for more kitchen storage that generally holds things like produce that can stay out, my coffee, and items I tend to grab quickly on a daily basis. Having a van forces you to get pretty creative with your space and organization. I rarely cook on the propane stove because I have a very small propane tank and would rather save it for using the furnace on those cold mornings. So I opt for a portable induction cooktop instead, since I have solar and a second alternator to use for powering it up. I mostly cook rather than eat out, so between this, my Instant Pot, the Weber grill, and my air fryer, I'm pretty set with being able to cook delicious meals from my van. I'm not in love with this fridge, but I've adapted to make it easier to grab things. First, it sits close to the ground and it's awkward to get things in and out, especially if it's in the back. So I've added these clear trays that I can unload when grocery shopping, organize all the food into the trays, and then slide it in and out of the fridge very easily. Okay, the next stop is the bathroom. Honestly, I want to remove this entire thing and make better use of the space. I've already removed the folding sink and the shower curtain and the bathroom door to provide more efficiency of the space. I use the kitchen sink to wash up daily, so the sink wasn't needed in the bathroom, and the shower is pretty useless considering the way it was built, with no shower head above and a shower pan that constantly cracks. Plus, who wants to move all their stuff every time you want to take a shower? I've added more wire baskets for storage and a toothbrush holder where the folding sink used to be. The last part of the inside is the bedroom, which is a queen bed. Another modification was to install a guard that prevents the window from opening too far, else you smack it with the sliding van door if the window is open. I found this USB powered fan on Amazon and love that it can clamp onto anything and swivel around. It's pretty powerful and helps to circulate the air quite a bit. As a side note, the butterflies were added to break up all the tan. I needed more color, so for now, we have butterflies. And you can't have a van without string lights, right? Both sides of the bed have cabinets above that aren't very deep, so my good friend Matt, who helped with the restring of the screens, also built me a custom wood shelf for the back. I have to say, I love the shelf and its earthiness. It feels so good to actually have some real wood inside here, and I've used it to store my excess clothes. Side note, I might have a problem with clothes and shoes. I also hang my yoga mat and bike helmet from some hooks I installed under the new wood shelf. Again, in a van life, well, you need to get creative with your space. Just like this wall I've used to hang my hats and miscellaneous items that you would typically find in a nightstand drawer. The mattress that came with my van was pretty hard, so after about a year, I decided I needed something with more cushion and that is better for my back. So I added a memory foam mattress topper, and that has made all the difference. Now that you've seen the inside of the van, let's step outside. Here is what my van looked like before all of the modifications. Notice the black stripes and chrome wheels. I have since completely changed the outside. Here's what she looks like now. She's debranded and destriped with some added accessories. Really, I just wanted a cleaner look, so I began with some help from my friend Eddie Blanco of Live Wraps down in Southern California to remove the striping and the branding, which was no easy task. I also wanted to black out anything that was chrome, so Eddie Plastip dipped the wheels black, the edge of the steps were painted black, the water inlet was Plastip dipped black, and the front grille was wrapped black as well. I love the new look of all the black and the clean trim all around the van. However, I'm not done yet with modifications to the van, so keep watching. I also tinted the front and side windows as dark as legally allowed, which acts as a great barrier for heat from the sun. She's looking pretty sharp now, but wait, there is more modifications to make her look even better. Matt and I also installed a bug screen to the front grille in order to keep bugs from collecting in the radiator grille. We used a fiberglass mesh and zip tied it into place. I'm so glad we did this just before I took off to Alaska. It's super easy to clean off at the car wash and has held up really well over the years. While at Matt's, we also insulated some of the doors since there was absolutely no insulation from Hymer. I think it's helped a bit, and also to help reduce noise. Next stop is Gordon's at Edge Van Works in Northern California, who installed an E-guard, also known as a skid plate, to protect the second alternator and the engine compartment. It was also a lifesaver since I bottomed out going to Alaska several times. He also installed this chunky black brush guard to the front of the van just before I went to Alaska as well. I must say, I really love the way the van has transformed since making all of these modifications. The last modification we did was to install a Swingaway tire arm so I could access the back doors easily. And since I bought a rad electric bike, I needed a Swingaway bike rack too. I access the back doors very frequently, so it was a must to have Swingaway arms for the tire and the bike rack. Under the bed is quite a bit of storage where I keep my camp chairs, my grill, tools, air compressor, extra food, exercise weights and equipment, and my water hose. Also back there is my clam shelter that I've hooked to the bottom of the bed and used to extend my outdoor living area where I'll do yoga, I'll meditate, and I'll hang out if it's in a very buggy area. Oh, and I must not forget, there's another USB outlet that we installed in the back by the bed that I use to power my phone and my watch at night, and sometimes that portable fan. Another item I just recently added so I can stay out boondocking longer is a jerry can that's actually made to hold water. I used it to dump my 4.6 gallon cassette toilet tank into when it's full, and then when both are completely full, I can empty into the proper sewage dumping facility. It's allowed me to stay out for at least 2 weeks at a time before needing to dump. Lastly, my outdoor living area consists of this large blue mat for the floor of the clam shelter that is super easy to clean, and I even use when the clam shelter isn't up for putting my yoga mat on it and stretching. Of course, Lily loves it too. Do you want this one? Do you want it? Good girl. I have a camping chair that I utilize frequently and a small tripod chair that can be for guests or when I just want a portable chair for around the campfire. Lastly, my beloved hammock that affords me peaceful moments reading a book, napping, and enjoying the great outdoors like this beautiful place here in Colorado. I really hope you've enjoyed my van tour and all of the modifications I've made. Please leave me a comment below if you have any questions, and of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, see you in the next video, which is right here.